Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American psychological thriller horror film from 2025, titled Bone Lake. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. The movie opens with a naked couple running through the woods, chased by an unknown assailant firing arrows at them. The man is struck in the back by an arrow, and the woman trips, impaling herself on a branch. Their pursuer catches up and kills them, then drags their bodies back to a house. The scene then shifts to another couple, Sage and Diego, who are traveling to a large lakeside country house they have rented for the weekend. Sage has recently started an editing job to support Diego while he pursues a full-time writing career, and they plan to celebrate before he begins working on his new novel. Upon arriving at the mansion, Diego secretly carries an engagement ring, intending to propose to Sage during their stay. Inside, they are impressed by the mansion's size and elegant decorations, and while Diego explores the backyard, Sage notices that 3 rooms are locked. Later, as she unpacks, Sage is startled when Diego appears naked, and the two share an intimate moment. Afterward, while relaxing, they are interrupted by the sound of a car pulling up outside. Another couple, Will and Cin, arrive, revealing that they have also booked the same mansion for the weekend. Confused, both couples try to contact the property manager, but the phone number is unreachable, and to resolve the situation, Diego and Will suggest playing a game to decide who gets to stay. However, Cin intervenes and proposes that both couples share the house, and if either couple starts to feel uncomfortable, she and Will leave. Diego and Sage agree to share the house with Will and Cin, and the first evening appears pleasantly normal. The couple spend time swimming in Bone Lake, cooking, and enjoying each other's company. During dinner, Will recounts a local legend, that since the 1950s, an unknown serial killer had used Bone Lake as a dumping ground for victims. As the evening continues, the group naturally splits between men and women. Will and Cin are notably open and unafraid to ask personal questions, putting Sage and Diego slightly on edge. The next morning, while preparing for an early jog, Will invites Diego to join him, but Diego declines. During their conversation, Will notices Diego's plan to propose to Sage over the weekend using his grandmother's wedding ring. That night, the couples gather again to socialize and share more about themselves. Cin, who works in business, offers to help Diego by connecting him with one of his favorite authors to review his book, which excites him. After a toast, Cin and Will begin kissing passionately in front of them, leaving Diego and Sage visibly uncomfortable. The following morning, while in the bathtub, Sage begins pleasuring herself, and when Diego wakes and notices she's missing, he goes looking for her and finds her in the bathroom. Pretending not to have seen anything, he calls out to her and offers to join her, but she declines. Later, while alone in the mansion, Diego receives a call from Cin, who says she needs help with something in her room after taking a shower. When he arrives, Cin attempts to seduce him, even undressing in front of him, and uncomfortable with the situation, Diego quickly leaves the room. Later, while Sage is outside listening to a speech on her phone, Cin joins her and offers her a drink. They begin chatting, and Cin brings up the earlier incident with Diego, explaining that he only saw her wrapped in a towel and that nothing happened. She assures Sage that she would never do anything to hurt her, and after Cin leaves, Diego joins Sage outside. Sage tells him she's becoming uncomfortable with Cin and Will's presence, as the weekend was meant to be just for the two of them. Diego reassures her that if she ever feels too uncomfortable, they'll leave the mansion. That night, they join Will and Cin again, and the couple suggests playing a game to lighten the mood. Will and Cin propose that they break into some of the locked rooms they discovered in the house. Using a meat tenderizer, Will forces one of the doors open, revealing a room filled with various sex toys and a sex swing. Diego expresses his discomfort, and they leave the room. In another locked room, they find a candlelit Ouija board and several newspaper clippings about mysterious disappearances that occurred around the lake, including the couple from the beginning of the movie who were killed by a masked assailant. Realizing that the events took place near the same mansion they are staying in, Diego, Sage, and Cin grow frightened. When Will suggests opening the final locked room, they all refuse. Later that night, while getting ready for bed, Diego confronts Sage about what he saw earlier, her pleasuring herself in the bathtub, which leads to a brief argument between them. The next morning during breakfast, Will suddenly proposes to Cin using Diego's grandmother's ring, which he has stolen. Shocked and angry, Diego later confronts him privately. Will apologizes, claiming he took the ring out of desperation and accusing Cin of cheating on him. In turn, Diego admits that Sage once cheated on him early in their relationship but insists that things between them are better now. Will promises to return the ring before the weekend ends, and the two rejoin the women, who are cleaning up the table. With their food supplies running low, Sage accompanies Will into town to buy groceries, while Diego and Cin remain at the mansion. During the drive, Will begins asking Sage personal questions. He claims that Diego told him he once caught Sage pressuring herself in the bathtub and that Diego fears he cannot sexually satisfy her. Will then brings up Sage's past affair with her ex-boyfriend while she was still in a relationship with Diego. Confused and uncomfortable, Sage questions why Will is asking her such things, but he remains silent, stops the car, and makes sexual advances toward her. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Cin applies makeup and goes to the living room where Diego is working on his novel. She tells him that Sage said she doesn't believe he will ever finish the book, twisting Sage's words in an attempt to manipulate him. Cin then begins touching Diego and tries to seduce him, whispering to Diego to touch her. It is revealed that Cin and Will had actually arrived at the mansion before Diego and Sage. Upon realizing another couple was coming, they quickly cleaned up the house and left through the back door. That night, after returning from the grocery trip, Sage is seen crying, possibly because of what happened between her and Will. Cin approaches her and asks what's wrong, and Sage opens up about her past affair with her ex-boyfriend, which still troubles her. To comfort her, Cin suggests they take Molly together, and Sage agrees. Meanwhile, Diego and Will are in the living room talking, and when Diego asks Will how he plans to get back his grandmother's ring from Cin, Will replies that he intends to outsmart her. Moments later, Cin and Sage, now high on the drug, join them briefly before heading to the lake to have fun. When Sage asks Cin what happened between her and Diego, Cin responds by kissing her. With the women gone for a long time, Diego goes outside to look for them but finds no one at the lake. As he continues searching for Sage, he encounters Cin, who refuses to tell him where Sage is, and starts following Diego. Meanwhile, Sage returns to the house and dries herself off, and moments later, Diego also arrives and joins her. Sage tries to tell him something, but before she can, the lights suddenly go out. Shortly, Will and Cin join them, and suspecting the power outage is caused by the breaker, Will goes to check it. Diego asks Cin to excuse them, and while the couple talks, Cin and Will secretly eavesdrop on their conversation. As the couple begins to argue, Will and Cin are seen quietly rejoicing. Minutes later, Diego calls out to them, saying that Sage has gone missing after their argument and asks for their help in finding her. Once they leave to search, Sage, who has been hiding inside the house all along, comes out of hiding. She confesses to Diego that she only pretended to take the drug earlier and believes Will and Cin are trying to psychologically manipulate them and turn them against each other. Wanting to rebuild their trust, Sage asks Diego why he told Will about her pressuring herself in the bathtub, but Diego insists he never did. Growing suspicious, the couple searches the house and discovers a hidden camera in the bathroom, and they then go to the locked room and manage to open it. As they step inside, Will suddenly turns on the light, and to their shock, the couple finds several photographs of themselves and other couples displayed on the walls. Sage finds a picture showing that the mansion actually belongs to Cin and Will. They also discover multiple surveillance cameras installed around the house. Through a monitor, they see several folders containing recordings of different couples, including their own, confirming they have been spied on, and at that moment, Cin and Will confront them. Sage demands to know why they are doing this, but Will replies that it is merely a game to test how loyal couples are to each other. Having had enough, Diego angrily tells Will to return his car keys, which he had earlier taken, and he and Sage rush to their car. They attempt to leave in their electric car but realize the charger has been removed, and the remaining battery can only take them a few miles. Suddenly, Will confronts them again, claiming to Diego that he was intimate with Sage earlier, trying to provoke a fight between them. However, Sage denies having any affair with Will, explaining that he only tried, and Diego believes her. Diego tries to reverse the car out of the driveway, but before they can escape, Cin crashes her vehicle into them, injuring Diego's leg. Sometime later, Sage and Diego regain consciousness inside the mansion, bound with duct tape, and Cin hands them a photo album containing pictures of herself and Will. It is then revealed that their real names are Thomas and Alice Price, siblings from a wealthy publishing family, and the same couple seen at the beginning of the film. As teenagers, the siblings entered into an incestuous relationship and murdered their parents when the affair was discovered. Since then, they have terrorized 6 different couples at their family estate, subjecting them to psychological games designed to test the strength of their relationships before ultimately killing them. After revealing this, Cin and Will excuse themselves and go to another room, where they begin watching Diego and Sage through a phone. Meanwhile, Sage and Diego manage to break free from their restraints, and seeing this through the surveillance feed, Cin orders Will to get the chloroform. The couple attempts to escape, and Sage is pursued by Cin, and a violent confrontation breaks out between them. Cin gains control of a butcher knife and tries to kill Sage, but Sage fights back and strikes Cin in the face with a glass, cutting her deeply. Unable to find the chloroform, Will returns to find the injured Cin in the kitchen, and she tells him to go after Sage and kill her. Armed with an axe, Sage is soon confronted by Will, who taunts her and dares her to strike him in the head. Sage hesitates at first, but when Will threatens to kill Diego, she swings the axe. However, Will manages to overpower her and seize control of the weapon. Meanwhile, Cin uses her phone to track Diego's location and goes after him with the butcher knife. She eventually finds him, and a struggle ensues. Cin stabs Diego in the leg, but he kicks her with his uninjured leg, knocking her unconscious. He then pulls out the knife and escapes toward the lake. Elsewhere, Will, who is now wielding an electric saw, continues searching for Sage. Diego hides beneath the boat dock, and when Cin comes limping over in search of him, he stabs her through the foot, trapping her in place. While searching for Sage, Diego is confronted by Will, who prepares to kill him with the saw. Before he can strike, Sage attacks from behind, swinging the axe and embedding it in Will's head, killing him instantly. With their car damaged, Sage and Diego flee toward the lake and board a small boat. However, Cin attacks them again. As Sage drives, Diego, holding the axe, faces off against Cin, who wields the butcher knife. During the struggle, Diego strikes Cin's hand with the axe, severing her fingers. She falls into the water, and her hair becomes tangled in the boat's propeller, and Sage reverses the boat, activating the propeller and killing Cin. Later, as they float in silence on the lake, Diego removes his grandmother's ring from Cin's severed fingers and proposes to Sage. The two begin laughing hysterically before falling silent, staring out over the water as the movie concludes. Okay guys, that's all the recap about Bone Lake from 2025. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.